Okay, so there's a few questions. I have two viewer questions and then one general. And the first one is from Epiphany Creative, and she wants to know whether Russia will use the Satan missiles. The second one is from GMA5, and she wants to know, will the government take over Trump's Bedford Golf Club cemetery plots at Move Ivana? And then the third one is this Trump FBI raid. What did they get? What are they looking for? So I hope you like the video. If you like the video, please do like the video. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. And thank you very much for watching. Hi, I'm Mark. This is my journey through tarot. Come on. Yeah, so it's horrifying. Epiphany Creative is the viewer who asked if they will be using this Satan missile, and I'll tell you a little bit about it and throw up a few pictures. And then another viewer, GMA5, wants to know, are they going to make Ivana move? Poor Ivana. And then also, what exactly are they looking for in Mar-a-Lago? So we'll look into all that stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to read this off here. So Epiphany Creative is the viewer and has asked regarding World War III if Russia will use the RS-28 Sarmat, and it's known as Satan II. I think the viewer called it Satan III, but I can only find Satan II. Now, it's named after the Sarmatians. I guess that's how that's pronounced. And they're a large Iranian confederation in classical antiquity from the 5th century BC to the 4th century AD. So in 2009, the idea was first developed as a Russian super heavy intercontinental ballistic missile, ICBM. And then in 2014, a Russian military official announced it'd be ready for deployment in 2020 or 2021. 2016, Russia successfully tested the first stage engine. 2017, prototype missiles were built and delivered to the Cosmodrome. Imagine that, the Cosmodrome, for trials, but the test was delayed. In 2018, the Russian defense military published a video showing the Sarmat performing its second successful test launch at the aforementioned Cosmodrome. And in 2019, during an exhibition, it was said that the Sarmat is capable of 35,000 kilometers, or that's 21,750 kind of thousand-ish miles in a suborbital flight. Gee whiz. And then 2022, Russia said a Sarmat was successfully launched and they expect it to enter service later this year. So there we go. That's the Sarmat. Here we go. So this will be Pierpont Morgan's Visconti Sforza Tarachi deck. So let's see. 3 questions we're going to have today. So this will be interesting. So the first one is going to be, will Russia be using their Satan missile? Satan II. Oh no. Do you see what I've done? Let's see if I can take these apart without having made a big mess. Ugh. What a deal. Okay, so this just shows you anybody can have a problem. Okay, nice. Satan missile. Russia's Satan missile. So they've been developing this thing since 2009. So that's forever. And Epiphany Creative, thank you for asking the question. Yeah. What in the world? And now have I just done these upside down? I have. Well, I'm not going to leave them like that, so we're going to turn them over and see way, I've got what I've got in here. I just don't like inverted cards, and I feel like there can be a problem with that. So I don't trust my intuition with those cards, and so that's why I always make sure the cards are pointed the correct way. Today has just been one of those days for problems with the reading. So we'll go through each one of these and see that the cards are in the correct position, which I've just done. Now, let's shuffle them up. So, Satan Missiles and Epiphany Creative wants to know, Satan Missiles, is this something that Russia is actually going to fire off? Because it looks like it's real. So, why don't we do this? Let's do 3 cards to say, we'll just do 3 cards to say, will Russia use that Satan 3 missile? Then we're going to ask about Gmod's question, poor Mama Ivana, is the government going to take over and move her? I don't think so, and I'll tell you why while we're doing the reading. 3 cards on that. And then finally, it'll be 6 cards on FBI raid. What did they get? What are they looking for? Okay? So those are the 3 questions. But before we do anything, let's have just a moment of meditation. Okay. So sure, Epiphany Creative. That's an ominous question. And she had actually looked at an old video I did about possibly World War III, and said this was a follow-up on that. 3 cards. Will they use the Satan missile? They being Russia. 1, 2, and 3. Will Russia use the Satan missile? Okay, here we go. First card up for this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of swords. You know what? I'm going to use my cheat sheet because I'm a little forgetful today. 6 of swords. Well, this is typically moving out of troubled water. That's interesting. So it's typically depicted in the Rider-Waite deck as a boat with the sword stuck in the front of it, and someone's paddling or pushing the boat off from the back, and with 1 or 2 people riding the boat. So moving out of troubled water makes me think no, or might they use it as a deterrent to stay out of troubled water? I don't know. Next card up. The Hanged Man. So looking at a thing from another's perspective, which fits. I mean, it could be that they want to use it to keep trouble away. Interesting. I hope that's how they feel. And that would be looking at this death weapon from another perspective. And the last card then is going to be this. So what is this? This is the Moon card. This is Secrets Being Revealed. Wow. So I think we're right on track there. So the first one, moving out of troubled water, look at things from another perspective, and Secrets Being Revealed. So that just tells me that we're going to find out that they're going to use it. They won't deploy it, but the threat of it will be the way of looking at this death weapon from another perspective as a way of keeping us from getting into that sort of a situation. Epiphany, thank you for asking. Now, Gmod 5 wants to know poor Ivana. So I don't think Trump's been working on that, turning a piece of that golf club land into a cemetery for quite some time. A family cemetery. I want to say 2007. I mean, it's a long time he's been working on it. Maybe 2009, just like this Satan missile. Ugh, Satan. But so it looks like he's probably got all his ducks in a row, and she just happens to be the first one to be interred there. And but we'll ask the question: will the government take over that cemetery? That's the specific question, and then move Ivana. Find out. 3 cards. So 1, 2, and 3. Will the government take over that piece of land and move Ivana? First card up. This is the Four of Swords. Four of Swords is usually taking a, well, it's interesting because this is typically depicted in the Rider-Waite deck as a sarcophagus or a coffin where the soldier is resting on top of it, and he's got 3 swords sticking down at him, so if he gets up too soon he could be hurt, and he's usually got 1 sword at his side for rest. But all that does make you think of a cemetery, doesn't it? So the first card for this is this Four of Swords, kind of thinking about a thing very carefully before you move forward, and it's interesting that it's related to death, a cemetery. The second card for Gmail's question is going to be, who are you? You are a queen, or you're the emperor. You're the empress. Yep. So this is the empress. So this is the all-knowing, all-seeing, all the information that one needs. Yep. And this would be the government. And then the third one up. How many we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 8, 9. So this is the 9 of Wands, and the 9 of Wands is really being embattled. Okay, and that's typically depicted in the Rider-Waite deck as a fighter with holding a wand. He's got 9 wands around him. He looks really beat up. So this is the last one, really being embattled. So will the government take over and move Ivana? I wonder if this could be Ivana, really embattled. I don't know that it'll be the government, because this doesn't specifically mention the government here. Let me pull maybe one more card with that question. Is this the government we're talking about? Because what this says to me is that she doesn't want to move. She's laying down and she doesn't want to move. And this is her. And then the third one is really being embattled, is that whole situation around her. So one more card right off the top as to whether this is, not right off the top. I'm going to spread them out and take one card. And so is this the government here that doesn't want to move her? And this is the Fool, a new journey. Interesting. The Fool, a new journey. Okay, I think this could be the answer then. So, all right. So we're asking, Jim wants to know if the government will take over and move her. I mean, for me, it looks like, Trump has done all the work to make sure that it's legal. But this is speaking to Ivana, I think. And it's kind of like, so she's an old warrior. She's laid herself down, and she doesn't really want to move. Okay, this is her. It's a new journey, and this is being embattled. I think this is telling me that she's perfectly fine where she is. She doesn't want to move anymore, and she's tired. So I'm going to say no, that that's not something that's going to happen. And then the last question, this will be 6 cards, and so this is what in the world, what the FBI, what are they looking for? Let's try that first. Let's give 3 cards of the 6 to see if it sets us off in the right direction. What are they looking for? I could ask specifically if they're looking for information about the removing government documents, if that's the line of prosecuting they're taking. But I'll just do 3 cards first and see how that goes as far as what are they looking for, and see if this sends us off in a direction. 1, 2, 3. The FBI, Trump's raid. What are they looking for? See if this helps us. Okay. The first card for that question is this page, or is this a king? Let me turn my light on real quick here. I think this is a page of swords. This doesn't look like a king to me. Yeah, this is a page of swords. So the reason I'm hesitating, because up here, I thought this might be a crown, but I think this is actually a headdress. And so this is not a crown, it's a headdress. And the page is the very weakest of the court cards. Swords is truth, justice, rules, and law. What are they looking for? So this is the beginning of a question. They're questioning the truth, the justice, the rules, the law. So it's an inquiry. The next card for this is a 2, 4, 6 of Pentacles. And again, I'm going to use my cheat sheet just so I can keep moving along here. 6 of Pentacles is received. Oh, so this is okay. This is typically depicted in the Rider-Waite deck as a figure with 6 pentacles that he's doling out to the needy. Okay, he's deciding who gets some of these pentacles. So are they looking for, interesting, are they looking for government secrets that could be sold? Last card, as far as what they're looking for, is the Death card. That's the end of a cycle. Okay, this is the very end of a cycle. Wow, I'm going to make this into a dyadic cross, 6 full cards, and we're going to read it that way. So the signifier card then of this reading starts out with this Page of Swords. This is a fellow, he's looking, he has a question about truth, justice, rules, and law. Weak question. And he's challenged by dealing out, so looking for information that could be sold. The basis of this reading is the Death card. If that's what it is, this is the end for Trump. 3 more cards. I'm just going to pull them out because these cards are so big. It's good to get these cards out of the way so I can use that space. Okay. So the next 3 cards for this dyadic cross. Wow. So in the past of this reading, for what is the FBI looking for, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of Pentacles. And again, I'm going to use my cheat sheet. And the 5 of Pentacles is hardship, delays, poor health, poverty. Yeah. So this is, wow. This is the situation that Trump found himself in being thrown out of the White House, essentially. Hardship, delay, poverty, in the sense that he's not the president anymore. The sky of this reading is this King of Cups, emotions. Cups are, I don't know if you can see it, but this is a cup right here, and this is the king. So these are emotions. So this has got to be Trump right here. In the very sky of this is Trump wanting to, this was an emotional, this wasn't to make money, this was to get even. This was personal. That's what this cup represents, emotions. Wow. And then the likely outcome of this as to what were they looking for is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of swords. The 5 of swords is abuse of power. So this was more than just removing classified documents. There's a suspicion here that there's something here of value that can be used for Trump to get his revenge. That's where he's at. He wants revenge against the government, against the United States for throwing him out of office. If he can't have it, nobody can have it. If he can't have the United States, then he'll sell it up the river. He'll destroy it. That's what that's about. Let's do 4 more cards to see if they'll actually be able to put this case together. The very self of that question as to whether they'll be able to put this case together about Trump having valuable information that maybe it was his intent to sell. Oh my goodness. So this is the Popess. The Popess, again, is just the very epitome of knowledge. So this is the investigation. The environment that's in is, of course, the Pope. Wow. The environment this is in is the Pope, and this is also the Hierophant. So this Popess, seeking this knowledge, is in the environment of the government. Wow. The hopes and the fears for this, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the 8 of Wands. And the 8 of Wands, I'm going to look it up again just to be absolutely positive what I'm saying here. 8 of Wands, actions. So yeah, typically you see this depicted in the Rider-Waite deck as 8 Wands. Either you can either say that they're coming down or they're shooting off. And so, but there are a lot of issues, there are a lot of problems. So the hopes and the fears, wow, has to do with all of these issues. They want to make sure that they're going to head this off. Wow. And the likely outcome, which would be, will he face some prosecution? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of swords moving out of troubled water. Again, this is typically depicted as a boat, swords stuck in the bow, and somebody moving them out of troubled water. I think he will, I'm going to say it, I think he will move out of trouble. So that's where I'll leave it. Well, that was pretty interesting. I hope you liked the video. If you have some questions, put them in the comments. If you have some comments, put them in the comments. And if you have something you want me to read on, let me know and I'll read on it. Hey, I'm going to show you the cards now. Hang on. Okay, so these are Pierpont Morgan's Visconti Sforza Toraci deck. So these come in a great box. I mean, you really feel like you've got something of value here. And they've got some interesting stuff inside. These are the rich folks who would have had these cards created, Bianca Visconti and Francesco Sforza. So there we go with that. We dump the cards out. There's a cool instruction book back here that is in full color with the cards and easy to read. So that's great. So these cards are from like around the late 1700s, I think. And when you spread them out, they're huge is one problem, but they're very interesting to look at. I just don't know that they show up as well on the camera as they do in person, so I don't use them on the camera that much, but they are very interesting. The court cards and the major arcana are not too difficult to decipher, although they are difficult to decipher. This is the Fool, for instance. And but the pip cards, the numbered cards, you know, you kind of know your divination. And you know, these weren't originally used for divination; they were just used for playing a game. And somehow, I think the gypsies got a hold of this stuff and decided to do something else with them. But these will give you a run for your money. Hey, I'm Mark. It's been my journey through tarot. I'm going to do it all again tomorrow if you want to come, so ciao for now. 1, 2, 3. You really make a big difference. Thank you.